Today I have 7 thrillers that I feel aren't talked about enough. Films that kept me invested until the very end. But before we start, make sure you hit that follow button for more movie related content. Like, share, and comment a film that belongs on this list. But with all that said, let's jump right in. Red State follows some teenagers who respond to a scandalous ad online and are drugged and held captive by an extremist religious cult, and they are set to die for their sins. To add to all of that chaos, the church is being infiltrated by the ATF, and despite this, their safety is not guaranteed. So I love cult movies. That shit terrifies me, honestly, especially religious cults. This film has some haunting dialogue and gritty action, a bit low budget with some additional flaws, but the fact this shit can happen, and has happened to some extent, just adds layers to the story that makes it all the more unsettling when reflecting on the darker aspects of our society. Christy follows a college student who stays on campus for the holidays, and a sinister group hunts her down and attempts to unalive her. This is your basic setup for a cat and mouse thriller. Some of the typical mistakes are made that you might see in this type of film, but I really enjoyed this one. The origin of the villains aren't deeply explored, but they are unsettling and unpredictable. Plus, I like a strong lead character like this one. Okay, so last movie involving cults or referencing cults, but Martha Marcy May Marlene follows a young woman who escapes a cult and has quite a hard time adjusting to the real world again. When she is taken back to her family, she is clearly traumatized and unsure how to cope. You witness an interesting comparison between the lead's views of the two different lifestyles, and that paranoia still lingers, but how valid are those feelings of paranoia? I feel like this one was fairly popular when it first came out back in 2017, but I don't hear much about it now. Forgotten is a Korean thriller that follows a young man whose brother is kidnapped. 19 days later he returns. He looks the same, he sounds the same, but something is off. Korean horror films and thrillers are often superior, and this one is no different in a lot of ways. It's not the best I've seen, but this one will keep you guessing the next twist through the end. The Edge follows two men who crash land in the Alaskan wilderness, and they struggle to survive the elements. The largest struggle being an aggressive bear. And a disturbing secret relevant to the two men also comes to light. Survival films always draw me in, and I was surprised I didn't hear about this one sooner, as it is a 90s film with a really talented cast. Three strangers arrive at a cabin back to back, with no other people in sight. Turns out they were brought here together for a reason. And this one is low budget, but outside some lacking effects in a couple moments, it didn't need to be an expensive project, and these performances are solid and the mystery is keen. This was a hard one to predict. A man firmly believes sinister forces are preparing to attack our world, and he tries to convince a close friend that they need to be ready. But with the unknown severity of the threat, who can be trusted? A well-acted, low-budget film that will mess with your mind and your doubts. This one surprised me when I first saw it. If you enjoyed this list and want more, make sure you like, follow, comment. What films do you think deserve to be on this list?